This is Miss Lizzie, and I want to welcome you to the Queen Lizzie podcast. Together, we will go through the history of Rosewood, Florida, and watch as the once prosperous town rises out of the bloodshed, fire, and ash to reveal the people, the memory, and the legacy of Rosewood. Watch every Thursday on Facebook and YouTube, or listen to our story on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Hello, everybody. I am Lizzie Robinson Jenkins, representing not only the Rosewood Foundation, but the personal testimonies and history of cherished friends and family. You are now watching the Queen Lizzie podcast. Today, we are speaking with Ashley McClellan Robinson, my niece. Hello, Ashley.
Hi, Auntie Lizzie.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am. Welcome to the Queen Lizzie podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm excited to have you on.
I'm excited to be here.
All right. But first of all, I want to wish y'all Happy Veterans Day to all of the veterans that served in this country and continue to serve in this country to protect us. It's very special that we recognize them and keep them up front. My husband is a veteran, not retired, but he put in 7 years. And I had from Archer a couple of uncles on my mother's side, my mom's brother, one of her brothers and her nephew. And then on my dad's side, my uncle, Robert Robinson. Okay, and you probably have family members that were in the service or still in the service.
Yeah.
Would you like to do a shout out to them?
Yes, shout out to my grandfather, Lester B. Jackson, and his brother, Jesse Jackson. They served in World War II. Both of my uncles served in Vietnam War, so I have a lot of family that are veterans, yeah.
Wonderful. So Lester is your grandfather?
Lester B. Jackson
Yes.
the second. That was my uncle.
Okay.
That was who taught school. But
Yes.
my grandfather was in World War II.
Okay, I know him.
Okay.
Lester, yes.
Yeah.
We were teaching school during the same time.
Mhm.
Yes, that's why I said, oh, Lester, okay,
Lester.
small world.
We called him Billy. Yep.
Yeah.
Billy.
yes. But anyway, Ashley is a phenomenal educator here. I'll let her tell you, but she works at Stephen Foster, and she has an organization. It's phenomenal. So I'll let you tell us who you are.
Thank you. I am a teacher in the Alachua County Public Schools. I'm currently at Williams Elementary. I was at Foster for 5 years and Idlewild for 3 years before that. In addition to that, I am the founder and director of the Concrete Rose Foundation. We are a local nonprofit for minority girls from ages 7 to 17, and we do a lot of community service, a lot of we work on the holistic approach for the girls. So we have etiquette workshops, not community service, but
It is community service.
it's community service.
Yeah.
But we do etiquette workshops. We do self-confidence panels, and we just do a lot to give them their historical Black college exposure, and then a lot of background for heritage, African American heritage.
Exactly, and you have done an excellent job, and you are the person, one, that I have known or met and was happy to meet because you're original, creative, it's a new initiative. You decided to launch a sorority, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We have a youth sorority, so there are
Yes.
3 programs in the Concrete Rose Foundation. The first entry level is Blooming Blossoms, and it's from 2nd to 4th grade, and then we have Concrete Roses for our middle school girls, and for selective members we have Cairo Phi Youth Sorority, and that was just founded earlier this year. So that is for kind of like our lifetime members, so the girls that have been with us throughout the years and want to remain in the foundation throughout high school. So it's Cairo Phi.
Cairo Phi. Okay, and it's different. Mm-hmm. Okay, and you are doing and have done so much to make a difference in the community. And she is this year's the NAACP Business recipient
Business Service Award.
Yes, Business Service Award E. Okay, Outstanding. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, I am. I'm glad to say, oh, this is my niece. And I always bring people on, who has initiative, who've created ideas and creative organizations that's different. And talk about you. And by the way, you people who are out there listening in our listening audience, she can always use sponsorship money. Yes. So if you have money that you don't know what to do with, reach out to her.
Yes.
Or to the Real Rosewood Foundation. Okay? And the Real Rosewood Foundation, our website is rosewoodflorida.com. That's Rosewood, Florida, Florida.com. Okay? Spell Florida out. And donate. There's a donate button that says donate, and you will be donating to the new museum that we are working on and the scholarship that we have that's already in existence, honoring my Rosewood aunt, who was the Rosewood teacher from 1915 to 1923. So we carry her memory through the scholarship. And as I say, my website is rosewoodflorida.com. You can donate there. What is your website?
Our website is theconcreterosefoundation.org. So all of our donations go mainly toward our annual HBCU tours. So we take girls all throughout the southeastern states. We've been to Alabama, we've been to Georgia, we've been to all the HBCUs in Florida. So this year we're actually planning to go to New Orleans, Louisiana, so that the girls can tour Grambling and Southern University. So that's what our donations go toward.
Outstanding.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank
I
you.
am, like I said, I can say it again. I am so proud of
Thank
you.
Thank you.
And guess what else she has done? She has been doing, how long have you been working on your history, your family history, your roots?
I started my family history, I believe it was in 2013, so it took me about 2 years to write the book and do all the research.
It's outstanding. Would you like to share it, show it to our audience?
So this this is a book that I published my senior year in college. It's Retracing Our Roots, the genealogical journey of the Jackson, Mathis, and Shade families. So I began researching my mother's paternal side, like I said, in about between 2013 and 2014. And I was researching after a family funeral, and I was under the impression that my great-grandmother had 2 siblings, and in my research I found out she had 12. So then I wanted to find out who were the descendants, and then I wanted to reach out to them. So in doing all of that, I was able to compile this book, which goes back over 250 years to the year 1750. So all of that in this 762-page book.
Wow, awesome. And she inspired me. Okay, and so I had what kind of test is it called?
The Ancestry DNA?
Yes, I did. And they sent me a couple of pages and said, oh, they thought they had me. I thought so too. And said, hey, Mrs. Jenkins, this is the beginning of, your first few pages. And I opened, and I'm going to tell you what I did. I opened it up, and I saw all of these white folks. I closed it, and I said, not now. I'm not ready for this. Although I already know who I am, I know that my great-grandfather was white, and Mom told me he was a slave owner. However, he was a decent, good person because he recognized and respected both sides of his family, the blacks and the whites, and brought them from Orangeburg, South Carolina is where he was born, and his wife was from South Carolina. What was her last name? Bowman, South Carolina. And her name was Bowman, Eliza Bowman from Bowman, South Carolina. So that says a lot. And they relocated and ended up in Micanopy. And I have that certificate says Micanopy, Florida. Okay, so we maybe have something in common there, maybe related, but that's okay too.
Yeah.
Mom would tell us all the time we are all related, but I am proud that you have taken the initiative to take it to 700 and how many pages?
762 pages.
And what did your father, you did this in college,
I
right?
did this my senior year when I should have been working on my senior paper. My father told me I had the rest of my life to research my family, but my goal was to get across the stage.
I love it. Thanks, Dad. You listened, but you still completed that
I still
book.
completed it.
Yes. And I always like to tell people, give my mother credit. My mom, Randy's my nephew. You can't see him, you all, but he's here supporting his wife. And she always told me the history of Rosewood, the history of the family, and say, you must keep it alive. Mm-hmm. It hasn't been easy. It has been painful, but I have done it for her. And when she told me, the first time she told me the story, she told it to her 4 children, my 2 brothers, okay, and my sister. One of my brothers is Randy's grandfather. They went to sleep, Isaac and Elijah went to sleep on her story. Mm-hmm. My sister, it was in another world. She didn't want to hear it, but for some reason, it attached itself to me. And today, I am telling the story to keep it alive and to attract people like you and other people that's interested in carrying the history on. I'm 86. I'm not going to be here forever. I expect you and others of your caliber to keep this history alive. Mm-hmm. It's yours history, not mine. Mm-hmm. Rosewood is not about me, but like I said, my mom said, keep it alive. And she said, if you're going to tell the story after telling me the story, I was 5, and I'm not going to go into details, but it was so much to remember.
It resonated with you.
Yes. And I'm back to the drawing board, making sure I continue this history. And she said, baby, if you were going to tell the story, you need a song. And she wrote a song, 13 verses. And I'm just going to start you off with the first few verses because people need to know what Rosewood is about from her perspective. And if you hear the entire story, I don't need to tell you anything else because it tells the story in her song. Mm-hmm. 2 minutes, she wrote it. I said, Mom, I can't write that fast. She said, do shorthand. Here she is, 8th grade education. I didn't know she knew what shorthand meant, but she did. And I did what I could. But after she finished telling the story, then we went back and together we edited it. Mm-hmm. And the song, Rosewood, Florida, borders Highway 24, a destroyed town, no blacks live there anymore, where emptiness resides in the silent sacred breeze. Life there no more, only nature's moss-hung trees. Rosewood, Florida, once a growing community, linked with chains of love and family unity. Families were linked with wholesome friendship, and each link represented a special kinship. In this productive southern town of Rosewood, here the families bonded and they understood each other's lives in their unique neighborhood. Lordy, 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 Rosewood used to be real good until a little old sleazy woman with a cheating heart triggered the Rosewood massacre and the colored had to depart. They ran for their lives in the middle of the night. They'd heard them all was coming to start a hideous fight. And I'm going to stop right there because I always have to give, I always give Steve Spurrier credit for allowing us to use his podcast room. He is an awesome young man. He's an awesome coach. He is very much into history. He does whatever he can do to help us. Freddie Weeby, Meldon Law, and Jerry Benton. Those are the 4 guys who have helped me forever, and I appreciate that. And I just talked with Freddie, and Freddie just said to me that Ted Yoho is going to be coming on my podcast. Wow. You all don't know him, but he's a former senator. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. That's Zach in the background. I need all of the help I can get because I don't have a prompter. like the whomever is on television. They have 30. Zach told me that, said they have sometimes 30 people doing their research and helping them. What's her name? Rachel Matt. Those people have prompters in the background, so I appreciate Matt when he helps like that. With when I forget. And this is what I like about this show. I forget. It's real. It's live. See, you're laughing.
Natural, yeah.
It's natural. It's naturally right or wrong. And I enjoy this. And what I am going to do after the break, I'm going to come back to you and I'll come back and talk more about Steve Spurrier and the giving people in this community. Okay, that's about time for our first half. We are going to head to a quick break, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
I am Black History.
I am Rosewood Black History. I am Florida and America's Black History, and you are too.
January 1st, 1923, the KKK insurrectionists attacked Rosewood, killing 5, burning it down.
Because a white woman lied and cried, a black man assaulted me. Rosewood redevelopment is on its way.
Want to help? Visit rosewoodflorida.com.
Meldon Law has been serving personal injury victims since 1971. In those days, Jeffrey Meldon's presence as an attorney in the music scene dubbed him with the nickname the Hippie Attorney. And although times have changed, 2 things haven't: our commitment to bettering our community by helping the injured,
Albert, are you ready to go to the game?
and our love for the Florida Gators.
If you bleed orange and blue, Meldon Law is the firm for you.
Welcome back to Queen Lizzie Podcast, brought to you weekly from the Steve Spurrier Podcast Room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. We are here with Ashley McClellan Robinson. The Queen Lizzie Podcast is brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union, live from the Meldon Law Gator Studios at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Okay, we are back, and I want you to know that I'm just I'm still talking about it. A birthday party that we held here at Steve Spurrier in the Visor rooftop. It was off the chain. It was so nice, well attended. We sold out of tickets, but we have a lifetime of memories to remember. And the people the number one person who was responsible for putting this together is Freddie Weeby. Freddie likes being in the background, and he doesn't like for me to talk about him, but this is my show. So, Freddie, I'm going to talk about you. He is awesome. He is awesome. He put this party together and brought us together. And when I say brought us together, Republicans, Democrats, independents, people, we had a fun time. And that's what life is about, enjoying each other. It doesn't matter our party or political differences. It's all about Rosewood. And these people are going to continue to help me. And a special shout out again to Steve Spurrier, because I thought he was out of town. And when he walked in the door, I almost passed out to see him. And not only did he walk in the door, he made a commitment that I will be playing later on when we edit it. He pledged to continue to help us build a museum in Rosewood. As we speak, we are working on building Rosewood Museum in Archer. Archer, as I said, is the hometown of my grandmother and the Rosewood school teacher. She married a young man from Rosewood. She is an Archer resident, and we are going to put the museum on the same property where she was born and grew up with 10 siblings, and their parents, Lizzie, my namesake, Lizzie and Charlie Brown, or Charlie and Lizzie Brown. Those are the children of, remember I told you about my great-grandfather coming from South Carolina. Mm-hmm. So Charlie Brown is his son, and Charlie himself passed for white when he was young, living in Archer, and invaded the KKK. He and other men of his complexion. Why did they invade the KKK? Because they needed to know the plans, what they were planning to do to us. Mm-hmm. So in order to know, they had to be a part of. They were not a part of. They infiltrated it. How did they get in there? How did they get past the door? Because they didn't do any checking. They when they entered, they all were wearing hoods. And my papa's, I remember him very well. His eyes were blue. So they just looked at the eyes and whatever. So they always, when they needed to, they always infiltrated and got the news to so they could protect their family. And what is so important about protecting their family, they had organizations. They organized the Archer Night Riders. They rode at night while their family was sleeping and protected them. They had the Archer Men of Worth. And they had the Archer, what is that called? Knights of Pythias, which was a Masonic, and they were very much into Masonics, the Masons from Archer, so they had to protect us, and that's just part of the history of Archer. But back to Spurrier, I want you all to know that each weekend there's a brunch off the chain. Okay, so from 11 to 3. Weekly, Saturday and Sunday, they they serve breakfast. And what I have done, remember I just told y'all I put together, don't remember what I was about to say. But anyway, I have come up with I put together a group, all of us to work together. So this is what I'm planning. No one else knows it. You'll be the first to know. On the first Saturday, nope, it's not the first, the last Saturday in each month, starting January, and I don't know the date, but that last Saturday, we are going to meet here and have breakfast together. Okay? I hope you all hear me, and I hope you all join us, because this is a community project, and that's going to be every last Saturday and each month for the next 12 months starting in January. I'm going to call you and say, okay, look, I'm going to call all of the elected officials that were nominated and won. If you come, good. If you don't, even if you lost, you're still invited. Okay? I have got to make sure that Steve Spurrier's gridiron is supported by Rosewood friends and family, because you all do so much for me, and I am so very, very, very appreciative. Can't do it by myself. So is there anything you would like to add that you have not talked about from your organization?
Well, for our organization, our goal is to have an after-school center in the community on the east side of town for students. So any sponsorships, we appreciate it. We have a youth retreat coming up where the girls are going to be at Camp Colaqua in High Springs. No electronics, no phones, just rewinding and relaxing to bond with each other. So if anyone would like to come out and talk about your occupation, to give the girls some insight to different career opportunities, we would love that. But any help we are appreciative of. So again, our website is theconcreterosefoundation.org. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, and we would be happy to have anybody that's willing to join.
Wonderful, wonderful. And that is where? In High Springs, the event?
The Camp Colaqua. It's in High Springs, about 15, 20 minutes outside of Gainesville.
I've been there. I love it. It's nice out there.
Yeah, they love it.
And the date again?
The date is January 10th through the 12th. Okay. That weekend.
Remind me.
Okay.
I have so much going on.
Okay.
But remind me. And again, the Rosewood, realrosewood.com, rosewoodflorida.com. Go there, visit us, donate, and do whatever you need to do. January 3rd, I'm thinking, but my husband has said no, about remembering the 100. It will be the 102nd anniversary of Rosewood massacre on January 1, 2025. And I would like to do something in Archer in remembrance of what happened. But John has said, like, oh, I think it's too early, whatever. But if I can get enough people, we'll bring out food trucks. Okay, and we will just walk the soil of where our new museum is going to be. Just walk the soil and, like I said, invite food trucks and music, a stage. I have already gotten in touch with our Alachua County commissioner who represents Archer, which is District 1, and talked to her about the stage, because they have the stages and they use them here in Gainesville. Why not bring one down to Archer? Okay, we are a part of Alachua County, and I am going to work closely with them, with Alachua County, because we need more. They don't do enough for the municipalities, the outlying
communities.
Yes, thank you. See, I taught you well. For filling in. Thank you for filling in. Yes, the outlying communities like Rochelle, Hawthorne, okay, Cross Creek. All of that is part of us, Micanopy. We need more recognition because, and I'm gossiping now, I understand they just used $6 million to build a trail. Who needs a trail? Okay? I'm telling on you all need to start concentrating on people, okay? And include us, because I certainly can use some of the money. And it was really amazing, and I'm not going to go there and tell that. That's private. But don't think I sit back and not say anything. You know?
Yeah,
I
know.
I have a mouth that's on fast forward all the time, and I look and I pay attention. And when I feel like you are not doing what you need to do, then I have a problem with that. Ted Yoho, people don't like for me to talk about him. He's my friend. He is the first nope, that's wrong. He's the first senator, okay, that stepped forward in 2015, I'm thinking, or 17, and said to me, called me one day, Miss Lizzie. And I said, now why is he calling me from Washington, D.C.? I said, yes. He said, are you sitting down? No. He said, I am about to take you on C-SPAN. I said, my God, what is C-SPAN? I had to reflect quickly. And I'm going to talk about Rosewood. He did it for 4.5 minutes. He talked about Rosewood.
Wow.
And the work that I am doing and have been doing. No one else has done that. Okay? And I felt honored. And his closing remarks, Mrs. Lizzie has been working on Rosewood for years, and she said that she is going to build a Rosewood Museum. And if she said that she's going to build a Rosewood Museum, she's going to build. And look how time, has gone around and circulated, and here we are, as we speak, getting ready to build the museum. I got to bring him on not back on, but on my show, so people can know that who he is and that he's supporting me. And I'm happy and I'm proud and I'm looking forward. So would you have any closing remarks? Do you have any closing remarks?
Well, thank you for having me today.
All right.
I appreciate it.
My honor, my pleasure, honor, my
Yes,
honor,
ma'am.
pleasure.
Yes, ma'am.
To have you on, and I think you have represented well.
Thank you.
The
Thank you.
Concrete Rose
Thank you.
Foundation.
Yes, ma'am. I admire your tenacity.
Oh, and same here.
Thank you.
I
Thank
admire
you.
you and your tenacity.
Yes, ma'am.
And my blood niece.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. And I appreciate my nephew, Randolph Pop. I call him Pop Robinson Jr. Okay, for supporting you. He didn't want to be on the show, but he is here sitting in the corner smiling and videoing. Okay, I am continuously humbled, honored, and blessed to meet people daily and invite them to join in peace building, healing, and reconciliation through learning about the history of Rosewood. That will wrap up today's episode. I am Queen Lizzie. Until next time, this is my Rosewood story, and I'm sticking to it. Goodbye.